What's good, you guys? Cruz here, back with another episode of Cook with Cruz. Hope you guys enjoyed last week's episode on the studio tour, showing off all the equipment I use. But now we're jumping into the new year with a new breakdown. Gonna be breaking down a beat I actually just made a couple days ago. Came out super fire, so I definitely wanted to come in and do an episode on this one and see what you guys thought of it. I also wanted to say I appreciate the likes and the comments that you guys are leaving me on the videos. So please keep hitting me up in the comments on suggestions on what you want to see me break down. And then of course, thumbs up on the video helps out the series a lot. I appreciate you guys. So without further ado, let's jump in and see what the first cook-up is for 2021. So coming into it, first cook-up of 2021, starting off with a sample from Unknown. Shout out to Unknown for the sample. So let me go ahead and play that raw audio file so you can hear what I was hearing. So that alone right there definitely caught my ear. Sounded pretty fire. Let's keep it going and see what else we got in here. I like the switch up. This is fire too. Definitely want to use this. But for the bass stab, I feel like it's going to throw off my rhythm a little bit. So as I'll show in a minute here, I'm going to do my best to EQ the bass stab out, but still be able to maintain that instrument switch up because I definitely want to use this. Mind you, I also don't have the files to the sample, so we're really just working with this one audio clip. So we're going to have to do our best to work around things that we don't want to add in. But continuing on in the sample, let's see what else we have. Another fire switch up, want that part too. Again, just gonna have to do some EQ on the bass stab here. And then from there, we're just kind of repeating instruments, how we structured it out. So this sample, definitely fire, something I can work with. So the first thing I did, I kept it at its original tempo, 120. That 120 bounce will be nice for this. In the actual file, I did drop it down one key. So we pitched it down just a little bit. And then looking into the mixer here, here's the EQ that I'm talking about. So the bass stab mostly came in this area as far as the frequencies go. So did a lot of cutting right here, and I feel like I did a pretty decent job cutting most of it out while still retaining the original sound. And then we also just added just a little bit of reverb to the overall track. So for the intro of the beat, I pretty much kept it the same as the sample. Being that it caught my ear like that, I thought it would make a dope intro. So here's what it sounds like with the EQ and the reverb now, and pitched down a little bit. So that's the overall sound that we're going to be working with. And if you look into our playlist here, we did master the concept of simplicity here, especially being that we don't have the files to the beat. It looks pretty neat and organized. I just separated my chops into different tracks so I can visualize what's going on. But coming in for our main drop right here. From the artist perspective, we're probably going to want to use this as a hook, but it also could be the start of a verse, even though our most busiest section is right over here in the beat. But back over here, we're just going to have the pad, the lower octave part of the pad here. And basically, we just need to throw some drums on here to get a vibe going. So let's jump in and start with the drums that I made for this. We'll go ahead and start with our close tat. We're going to use a rim for our snare. I felt like it sounded pretty good for this. Here's our open hat. And then here's the important part, our 808. And And the other important part, our kick drum, we kind of spaced it out here to come in on and sometimes off of the 808 to make a nice bounce. So it's probably not making a lot of sense, but when they all come together, it'd be pretty dope. And then into the playlist, these clips right here are pretty much just reversed the 808 to come in and lead up to a certain note here. This idea is definitely made popular by The Box, Roddy Ricch. But I got a couple different notes here. This will be the E note. It's going to reverse up into itself. And then we'll have our A sharp note, which is actually our root note for the key here. We'll kind of lead back in down to the E, so it'll all sound good together. And as you can see there, nothing crazy with the drums, just got the essentials basically. So let's go ahead and see how that sounds. So there goes our drum pattern right there, sounding pretty dope. Now let's hear it with the sample now. So that's how we're going to come in for the drop there. And that's going to be our vibe right there. Again, about simplicity. That's all we're really going to need. We're just going to basically make small tweaks here and there. That's it. And now here comes the switch ups I was mentioning. And let me go ahead and solo this out because this is one of the sections in the sample where the bass stab is. So let's hear how much of that bass stab got removed. Compared to if I turned off the EQ. So you can hear I pretty much almost got rid of it, and especially with the drums playing behind it, you probably won't even know it's there anymore. So let's hear how we're gonna switch up now. And moving on, we're gonna have our other switch up that was in the sample. That'll be this chop right here. Drums, again, stay the same, minus the kick drum. So I did do something just a little bit different here to switch it up. So we'll just have the 808 with the rest of the drums playing. And now for, I guess, the most full part of the beat. There was this section in the sample right here, and Unknown added like a real subtle choir behind it, which I thought was super dope. And I remember I wanted to bring up the choir a little more, which is a little hard being that I don't have the files. So what I did was I layered the choir in the background with another choir of my own to kind of boost it up just a little bit. So let me play it right now and you might be able to hear a little choir in the background. So it's almost like a soloist singing back there, but we went into handy dandy Omnisphere here and pulled up Boys Choir soloist Ah. So essentially what I did was I just replayed the notes, if I can pull it up here. Just replayed the notes here while throwing on a bunch of reverb. So this is what it actually sounds like. So we're just essentially replaying the main melody here, and we're stacking it basically into the sample. As you can see, we're going to have it turned down. We don't want it super up there. We want to make it feel like it's still within the sample. So with the Omnisphere choir combined with the sample, this is what it sounds like. If we did it right, the choir should sound a little more prominent here. So you can hear the choir that I added isn't too much in your face. It really feels blended in with the sample as one. So that's exactly what I wanted to have happen here. And then, as far as our drums are gonna go, we're gonna cut most of it out, and then we're gonna use our first reverse 808 here to kind of drop our drums back in. So we'll have a small break and the drums come back in. Sounds pretty dope. And then from there, we're just going to rinse and repeat what we already structured. So if we look beyond this point, this entire section is basically what this is right here. So we're going back and forth between the hook and verse, and that's all we really need to do here. And just like that, that is the first beat of 2021 we're breaking down. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Your feedback is always greatly appreciated. While you're down there, feel free to hit me up on any beats that I have that you want to see broken down, and I will definitely make an episode on that. I appreciate you if you made it all the way to the end of this video, and if you did, please leave a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. Helps keep these videos going every single Sunday. And of course, make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. But with all that being said, that is it for me today. I will see you guys next Sunday. I'm out. Peace.